All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High and His only begotten Son. Call Halay Imla Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Radash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Wa Barakathum to the hopeful elect. All right, today through the Spirit, I want to go into a quick video. And it's going to be entitled Deliverance, Example of Deliverance. That's what I'm going to call it. You see? And what the Spirit had me do was, I looked into, the Spirit had me looking into fight or flight, when your body goes into fight or flight. You see? And let me go ahead and get it right here. Okay? When your body goes into fight or flight mode, your senses get heightened. You get that adrenaline pumping all through your body, and it makes your senses, everything get heightened, which, the Lord created us that way. To our senses can work at a higher rate than they're working already. And when we're in a time period of the Lord showing His power, He's gonna have this times, he gonna basically make this effect that fight or flight happen. He gonna have us doing things on a whole other type of scale to be delivered. You see? Because this is an example of, showing that we had a creator. We have the ability to, our body has the ability to work at a way higher vibration or a way higher rate when we're in fight or flight mode. You see? So it says right here, Chat GPT, when humans go fight or flight mode, do their senses get heightened? I spelled senses wrong. All right. It says, yes, when humans enter fight or flight mode, the acute stress response, the body activates a sympathetic nervous system and releases stress hormones like adrenaline. It says epinephrine, epinephrine. It says in cortisol. Cortisol, is a stress, which that kills you. It says this causes several changes that can heighten the senses. It says vision. Pupils dilate to let more light in, which can improve peripheral vision and the ability to detect movement. Some people report tunnel vision where focus narrows sharply to threats. You see? So our eyes are able to lock in onto threats. And a lot of animals have the ability to see that well, but the Lord values, his servants in Israel way more than the animals of the earth. You see, it says hearing, the brain may tune in more sharply to specific sounds like sudden movements while filtering out background noise. You see? So you're able to have a heightened hearing. It says smell and taste. It says these usually become less important in the moment, but some people notice sharper smell sensitivity during extreme stress. You see? And we've all been in situations where we were super scared, and you were able to run faster, or, you were able to hear better, so on and so forth, where your senses got heightened. You may have been getting chased by a dog, and you was able to run faster. So this alone shows you that Yahweh Shem Shai can heighten, our normal abilities, which is that's the point of this lesson, is exhortation, spiritual power. You see? When you go down here, it says touch and pain perception. It says pain sensitivity can decrease. It says stress-induced anesthesia, but tactile sensitivity to things like vibration or impact may increase. You see? So your senses is real heightened. It says reaction speed and awareness. It says the brain processes sensory input faster, which can feel like time is slowing down. You see? So this happens whenever we experience fight or flight, when all those adrenaline hormones is going through our body. Like a lot of fighters, they getting that. We've all gotten to. You may have gotten chased by a dog or been in a situation where you had to hurry up and gather somewhere. You might jump over a big ass gate or something, and you'll see animals do it too. But if the Lord is able to, if He created us to automatically be able to do it, how much more when He's actually trying to show His power, what Yahweh Shem Shai is going to do. All right, and I did this right here. It says it says epinephrine, which is also called adrenaline, is a hormone and neurotransmitter in your body that releases mainly from the adrenal glands, tiny glands that sit on top of your kidneys. So it is the main chemical behind fight or flight response. Your adrenaline starts going, and you're able to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do when your adrenaline is going. You see? So if we're able to do that whenever we just get scared, the Lord fashioned us that way, how much more whenever the Lord is actually trying to show us power and deliver us? You see? Now let's get some precepts. This is Isaiah 59 verse 1. It says, behold, Yahweh Shai's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, right? And we're going to be in situations where the sight of the situation looks like it's no way out. But Yahweh Shai is going to show us power and make ways make something out of nothing. We're going to be in situations where you might be about to be a martyr. They got you hemmed up. They're about to behead you. Stuff like that, man. You in a land where it's a famine, it's all people killing each other, and the Lord's still delivering you. You see, we're going to be in situations like that. It says, neither is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. You see, so those that call upon Yahweh Shai that are of the elect in truth and sincerity, that truly believe in his saving power, they're going to be getting delivered. You see, they're going to be getting delivered. The Lord's going to hear it. Right? Let's check this out. This Psalms 34, and I'm going to start up a couple of verses. The Spirit, and we just said that. All right, it's in verse 15, I'm going to read down. It says, the eyes of Yahweh Shai are upon the righteous, and his ears open unto their cry. What's the eyes of the Lord? The chariots. Which when the scriptures speak about clouds, that's talking about the vehicles of the heavens that the Lord uses, the angels, and the Lord is in, their chariots. This world calls them UFOs, unidentified flying objects, but they are identified. They're vehicles of the Lord. You can read about it in Ezekiel, the first chapter. You know, there's many chapters that describe chariots, like a wheel upon a wheel. You see those chambers, right? This is verse 16. It says, the face of Yahweh Shai is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. You see, the Lord's going to cut off all the wicked of his people. You see, but the ones that believe on Yahweh Shai, that's repentant, you know, that's of the house of David, that are of the elect, the Lord's going to deliver them. You see, his read verse 17 says, the righteous cry, and Yahweh Shai heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. We're going to be in all types of tribulation situations, and the Lord's going to deliver. We're going to be in situations where it look like there's no hope, and Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us and make a way out of it, so make something out of nothing. You see, verse 18, it says, Yahweh Shai is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be as of a contrite spirit. You humble. You're not exalted. You have a humble mindset, and you feel bad whenever you go off, and you don't want the Lord to judge you. So that'll make you be broken down and contrite, because you ain't gonna be big headed and be all proud. You see, and you're gonna feel crushed whenever, because like we fall short daily, but you're gonna feel crushed if you're of a broken and contrite spirit. You know, you're not gonna take pleasure in being wicked and evil. It says, verse 19, it says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh Shai delivereth him out of them all. You see, so we're going to be in situations where we're going to be in great tribulation, afflictions. Let's get that word affliction. Why did it take me off my precept I was looking at? Let's get that word affliction. All right. It says, rye. All right. It says bad, disagreeable, unpleasant. All right. Sad, unhappy, unkind, evil, misery, distress. You see, being distressed, evil, jacked up positions, and the Lord's going to have to bring that deliverance. You see, and the Lord's going to be showing his power within his servants. We're going to be in Jacob's trouble, Israelites' trouble, but Yahweh Shai is going to deliver us out of it all. Those now, you know, Abarat Dazah, which means Lord willing, we be of the elect. The elect is going to be getting delivered. It's going to be right. It's going to be right. It's going to be, the righteous is going to be scarcely saved, but it's still going to be a saving though. You see. Now I want to get this right here. This is Isaiah 40 and verse 31. It says, but they that wait upon Yahweh Shai shall renew their strength. All right. We once was on that glorified estate. All right. Chalap, right? It says to pass on. It says to come on new, sprout again, It says to change, substitute, change for the better, to show newness. Right? We're going to go back to that glorified estate. We're going to be like Yahweh Shai. We shall be like he is. That's what it speaks about, at least in Philippians. We're going to get that new body, change that vile body into a glorious body like Yahweh Shai's. You see? It says they shall mount up with wings as eagles, right? They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And you know, that's talking about us being able to fly, be able to run fast. You see? Different abilities that the Yahweh Shem is going to give us those new bodies. And then brothers may also have examples of that, like I was going into when we're in Jacob's trouble, to show the Lord's power. The Lord's going to be, he's going to give certain men spiritual power to get delivered. Like that's why you have Isaiah 59 and 19. When the enemy shall come in like the flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So it's going to be certain men that may get spiritual power before the chariot, before they get delivered into the chariot and get the new body. Right? But the reason why I wanted to bring up the point of fight or flight is because the Lord created us and fashioned us to be able to have our senses get heightened, which proves to you that, you know, we all can do, our body is capable of more than what we think. But the Lord is going to go even past that to show his power in these times. That's the point of this video, exhortation. Right? This is Joshua 23 and verse 8 through 10. But cleave unto Yahweh by Shem Shai your power, as ye have done this day. For Yahweh by Shem Shai have driven out before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you until this day. Right? Because like these Hamites was on point. Military was established. They was in the land of Canaan already. So we was coming to a very established nation and subduing them. That's because the Lord was with us though, right? You see, it says, verse 10, one man of you shall chase 1,000. For the Yahweh Bashem Shai your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he have promised you. The Lord is going to give us spiritual power, different abilities that's going to be able to fight against nations like that. That's why we was able to do it, because Yahweh Bashem Shai was strengthening us. He gave men heightened abilities. You see, I want to get this right here. This is 1 Samuel 17. I believe I had verse 48. This is 1 Samuel 17 and verse 47. It says, and all this assembly shall know that Yahweh Bashem Shai saveth not with sword and spear, right, not with weapons. That's why King David said, I will not trust in my bow and sword. Right? It says, for the battle is Yahweh Bashem Shai's, and he will give it into our hands. Right? The battle is of the Lord. Whoever wins the battle. That's why the Maccabees, they was able to defeat those Grecians in wars when they was outnumbered, because the Lord had the spirit with them. The angels was aiding them. And he gave them spiritual powers. Like Samson. Samson slew 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass. And it said the spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him when he brought down that temple on all them people. You see? So spiritual power is biblical. This is the last one. It's Psalms 144 and verse 1. It says, a psalm of David. Blessed be Yahweh Bashem Shai, my strength. That's where we get our strength and power from, the Lord. It says, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight, which he's going to get ready to do in these times. Heighten all of that, man. He going to put us in a whole different type of level. You see? So that's why we got to trust in the Lord's saving power. That's how we're going to be able to be delivered and make it. You see? But anyways, I brought this lesson edify. I like to end it all by saying, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Workak Radash, Double RNC, Apostles, Elders, a great millstone, room teach well. Next time, come on, Shalom.